Hello, it's Alex and welcome to Hey Little Thrifter. Today I'm going to be doing the Booktube Newbie Tag. Question 1. Why did you start this channel? Well, I actually started this channel about 2 years ago to share my love of thrifting, hence the name. I had recently moved from the UK to the US and I quickly became obsessed with thrift stores, and I started a channel to share all of the cool things I found. And other than clothes, one of my favourite things to thrift is books, and I've always been a big reader, and I've been watching Booktube for a good couple of years also, so it all came together and I figured why not start doing some book related videos here too. So about a year ago I started posting monthly reading wrap-ups, so if you're interested you have a whole year's worth of those to look back on. And I just thought doing this tag would be a good way to get myself out there a little bit more and hopefully meet some more people. Question 2. What are some fun or unique things you can bring to Booktube? Well, I'm a little bit older. I am 36, I'll be 37 next month, so I'll officially be in the late 30s category, which is fun. And I realised that the majority of YouTubers are probably in their 20s, and there are some older ones but not as many, and I just wanted to bring my experience and perspective. And also the genres that I'm most into are horror and thriller, and I have found some great booktubers who are also into that, but I feel like it's nice to add another channel into the mix. Also, fun fact, and I hope you're sitting down for this, but I've never read Harry Potter. Question 3. What are you most excited for about this new channel? I think connecting with other people. I would really like to be able to make some friends here. I would like to share the books that I'm reading and be able to discuss them with other people. I have gotten a ton of great recommendations from booktubers that I watch, and I'd love to be able to recommend some to you. Question 4. Why do you love reading? It's one of those things that I don't know if I can really put my finger on. It's just something I enjoy doing and have done ever since I was little. I think even with fiction you can still learn new things and you can get different perspectives and experiences even if they're from fictional characters. And also I like reading about a lot of dark things, which are thankfully not the kind of things I encounter in real life. Question 5. What book or book series got you into reading? Well, when I was a kid I loved stuff like Beatrix Potter, Bramley Hedge and Little Grey Rabbit, so mostly things about animals apparently. And then when I got a bit older, so like 11 or 12, I became obsessed with the Point horror series, and this was the kind of thing I would spend my pocket money on, so stuff like Trick or Treat, The Train and Freeze Tag, all of these like lurid covers and dramatic titles were totally my cup of tea. And sometimes the covers were better than the contents, but I loved them anyway. They're pretty tame of course, but they do have some horror elements, and at that age they were my first real kind of start into the horror genre. Question 6. What questions would you ask your favourite booktuber? And I have quite a few favourite booktubers. I don't know if I have just one, and I don't know if I have a specific question to ask, but it would just be really cool to be able to all hang out and have a good old chinwag. Question 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Time. There are never enough hours in the day to do all of the things I would like to do, so it's always a bit of a struggle to make time to do the things I'd like to do once I've spent the majority of my time doing the things I have to do and don't necessarily enjoy. Not only finding enough time to read all the books I would like to, but also finding the time to film and post videos as much as I would like to. But like I say, I've had this channel for almost 2 years now, so I've definitely overcome some challenges there, and while my videos are probably not as polished as some, they're okay. Question 8. When did you start reading? I think before I was able to read, my mum and dad would read to me, and then when I learned to read, I was always a big reader and always loved having books, and remember when we had book fairs at the school that I went to and just being so excited about getting new books, and also going to the library on a regular basis. So yeah, I've always read over the years. There have probably been times when I have not read as much as other times, but it's always been there. I think when I was at university in my late teens, early 20s, I fell out of reading a bit because there were so many other things to focus on. But one of the things that got me back into reading after university was Chuck Palahniuk, who is most famous for writing Fight Club. I really enjoyed a lot of his books, and although I haven't read any of his more recent ones, I still love those books like Survivor and Choke, and I have just really fond memories of that time because I was a member of the fan forum online for Chucky P, and I met not only some really great friends through that, but I also met my husband. And yeah, so it's quite amusing to tell people that we met through Fight Club. Question 9. Where do you read? I used to always commute to work on public transport, so I would always have a book with me then to do something other than staring at the floor while I was on the bus or the tube. And recently I've actually been working from home, so I no longer have a commute, so I don't really have that chunk of time that I spend reading. So I mostly just read in bed before I call it a night, and if I have any time over the weekends to devote to reading, then I'll usually be found on the sofa getting comfy with a cup of tea and a book. I also love to read when I'm travelling, so not only physically on a train or a plane going somewhere, but also relaxing while on holiday. It's always nice to have a book. Question 10. What kind of books do you like to read? If we're talking genre, then I really like, as I mentioned before, horror, thriller, mystery, crime. Or if we're talking physical book versus ebook, then I do prefer physical books, but I do also have a Kindle, which I really like. I also have a big love for second-hand books, so I'm always looking out for books at thrift stores and going to library book sales, and yeah, I just love having tons of books. So that was the Booktube Newbie Tag. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you again in my next video. Bye!